Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and this week we have the Mid-Autumn Festival for Idle Heroes, which is one of those big events in the year where you can have a chance as a free-to-play player or a spender to get some really cool rewards. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the event and showing you how to get the most for either your money or for your hard-saved resources if you're free to play. And it's an interesting event because some of you will go after this and get tons of stuff. Others of you might be best not doing anything at all. So to figure out which one of those you are, stay tuned for today's video. But before that, let's take a look at this week's sponsor. Angel Legion is a sci-fi idle RPG similar to Idle Heroes but set in space. You put together a team of angels combining their abilities into epic combos to explore the galaxy, defeat powerful foes, and when all that fighting is over, you can hang out with your heroes in the cabin to relax and unwind. The heroes in this game are fully customizable and you can dress and change the way they look to your heart's content, and there's lots of different heroes in the game for you to experiment with to find which team you like the most for making progress. There's a new code exclusive for this week available in Angel Legion, so if you go ahead and make an account, or if you already have one, make sure you cash it in to get some really good rewards. All you need to do is go to your character menu and select the gift exchange button. From there, enter the code XQAH8034. And from there, you'll get yourself 10 free summons and a unique fashion item. So from then, all you need to do is head over to your hero menu and unlock that fashion item, and you can equip it to whichever hero you like. So folks, why not go ahead and download Angel Legion? It's fully free to play, and you can enter those codes, and it really helps out me as a channel. Give the game a try, and you never know, you might just find your new favorite game to play alongside Idle Heroes. Either way, let's go check out this week's event to see what rewards you can get for the Mid-Autumn Festival. So this week is a Prophet Orb event. So every day for logging in, you're going to get yourself a Prophet Orb and you get 5 sweet lollipops. And these sweet lollipops will help you in the Fantasy Factory. So make sure you claim these every single day. The event is split into 2 halves. We have the cool events and the Mid-Autumn Celebration. And the cool events just gives us the backbone, whereas the Mid-Autumn is going to give us all the good rewards. So we start off with the Soul Awakening Accession from last week. So if you manage to get some decent points here, you'll hopefully be walking away with a stone. Whether it's a B- like most people will have managed, or maybe you got something fancy by pushing into the top 1000. Some people here spent a ridiculous amount of resources awakening heroes. I never encourage this, but people still do it nonetheless. We've got the Illusion leaderboard. This is just basically allowing people who went in the card illusion and got very far to go ahead and use their cards as effectively as possible to get into the top 100. And yeah, they get themselves some nice gems. Even if you just took part in this, you should be walking away with 1,000 gems, which is great. Now, we've got our value packages for this week. These are hard to evaluate in a vacuum. You kind of need to know what these Jade Rabbit Lanterns are used for, but either way, assuming that these are good, these packages are really nice. You get some gems, you get Prophet Orbs, which can be really helpful because we've had some quite good Prophet Orb events recently, so I know that there are some people who are going to be quite low on their Prophet Orbs. Yes, there's going to be free-to-play players who've saved up hundreds and hundreds, but newer players and people who are trying to get the most out of all the other Prophet Orb events we've had are probably finding themselves a little low on resources. Now, I know I'm low on Prophet Orbs because the last 2 Prophet Orb events I went in on very hard and fully completed them. So yeah, I'm low, so I could appreciate some of these value packs. However, spending money on them always feels a bit gross for me. I'd much rather spend Contract Starry Gems, as these are a much more easier to obtain in-game resource. So yeah, more on these later, but these do look really good. You're getting Fantasy Factory items, and you're also getting Treasure Train items, as well as the event currency, not to mention the gems and Prophet Orbs. So yeah, all of this is really nice. Now we've got Fantasy Factory. This is pretty standard, more of a side event. Nothing to do with this actually feeds into the main event. So this is just another way you can get resources this week. Just use the shapes, cut in on this larger shape, and you basically want to remove all the little guys on here. And when you do, you'll get lots and lots of stars, and then you can use them in the shop here to get yourself some nice resources. Generally, we like to stick to the right-hand side, picking up Aurora gems, as that makes it easier to complete future ones. And yeah, you might be able to push to get a 9-star light puppet out of this if you're free to play, which is pretty nice. Yes, you can spend gems on additional lollipops, although I generally advise against it, because spending gems on events like this means you'll have less gems to spend on big events in the future. And that's important because this week does have a large area to spend gems in, which is exactly one of those places where if you've been spending gems on Imp's Adventure, on Fantasy Factory, on Sky Labyrinth, you've been wasting gems that could have potentially been used on a bigger event, as you'll see today. We've also got our Prophet summons here. Most importantly about this is you are going to get your usual rewards, like a hero, for example, and you get your Cause of Transcendence. But the main reason to go after Prophet Orbs this week is these Jade Rabbit Lanterns. You get 6 of them for every 80 you complete here, so that's a total of 48 because you can do this 8 times that can be potentially picked up. That number's very important because knowing the maximum threshold that free-to-play players can achieve is always really useful. And finally, in the cool events, we have Heroic Miracle, where you can summon 3 5-star lights, 3 5-star darks, 5 in every faction, and walk away with sweet lollipops to help you in the Fantasy Factory. And also you get some scrolls and 10 Prophet Orbs there, which could be helpful if you're looking to complete this week's event. And also the armor can be quite useful if you're looking to upgrade your armor, because you can destroy 2 and 3-star armor no problem, and that will actually help you to get upgrade materials to help you with resonance armor, something that's pretty important for later game players. Now, let's move across to the Mid-Autumn Celebration. This is going to seem pretty overwhelming. There are 11 different locations you can go in, and basically the most important thing you do is not split up your lanterns. You want to focus entirely on one location at a time. The biggest noob mistake would be to go in multiple different locations simultaneously, because you'll just be wasting your reward opportunities. The reason that's the case is every time you use a lantern on a location, it will improve its happiness by 1.68% to 1.78%. Not really sure why that window is as awkward as it is, but generally it's going to use anywhere between 57 to 60 of these lanterns to get you a full 100% happiness on a location. So let's just call that 60, because that's a nice round number that we can use to evaluate the event. And also, it's probably worth looking at the different locations as they all give different rewards. I want to draw your attention to location 1 and 2 initially, because if you go lower down, you'll see their 90% completion is going to get you some pretty nice stuff. You get Destiny resources, so you're getting Aurora Gems for this one, and you're getting Scattered Spirit Vein Shards for location 2. Also, their initial rewards aren't bad. You get gems here on location 1, so that could actually really help you this week. So location 1 looks extremely appealing. Also, 5 cores in there is nice. Then again, does everyone have 5 cores? Yeah, it does. Okay, every single one of them is going to have 5 cores. And at 50%, you get 10 Jade Rabbit statues, and at 100%, you get 10 Jade Rabbit statues. And Jade Rabbit statues are the most important resource you want to be obtaining this week, because it will feed into a store which allows you to gain resources. This is basically a glorious treasury. So here you can pick up Stellar Shards. Later on, you can get Core Origin chests, or you can get Sublimation. If you go even deeper, there's access to Destiny materials, and super deep is these fancy Soul Star things that are available once you hit Nirvana on your team. So lots of stuff available for you guys. So it's really important that you understand how to get on these locations and use these lanterns. Now, when it comes to picking areas, as I said, 1 and 2 are good because they've got Destiny stuff, but any of the first 5 locations do seem quite nice, as they're giving Celestial Island resources, which is pretty cute. And if you look at some of the later ones, actually, you get Prophet Orbs in location 9, so that could help you if you were low on Prophet Orbs. And location 8 looks really nice, as that has Heroic Summon Scrolls and 10 Soul Symbols. The worst ones here, I think, are 10 and 11, as 10 is giving you Wishing Coins and Fine Wood, and location 11 is giving you Wishing Coins and Hard Rock. Resources I don't really think you need, and yeah, a 5-star Glory Epic Chest isn't very good, and you look lower down here, Spiritual Essence ain't that great. So location 10 and 11 are easily the weakest. 8 and 9 are quite interesting, because they're giving Prophet Orbs and Heroic Summon Scrolls. 7 looks pretty bad as well, not really impressed by this. Also, Passive Skill 1 is the weakest Sublimation reward. So, yeah, have a look around, see which one appeals to you most. Even location 6 looks pretty bad, because Master's Toolbox isn't much easier to get nowadays, so even that doesn't seem too exciting. Now, you might be seeing some of these chests as well. These are just basically containing Charm Treasure coupons and Treasure Shards for the Festival rewards. So, yeah, just that's what these chests are, and that's what that's going to get you. You got these nice new Treasure Train items. We'll look at those in a second, but as a quick summary, they're not actually that good, but they do give fixed stats, which can improve your team. Now, you're probably wondering, free-to-play players, how on earth are we supposed to get to 60 of these lanterns? You've already figured out you can get 48 of them from Prophet Orbs. So it looks at the moment the furthest a free-to-play player is going to get is up to 50% and just get themselves 10 rabbit statues. That, to me, doesn't sound very good. I don't want to be investing my Prophet Orbs just for some Stellar Shards from this shop, because all you'll be able to do is buy 2 lots of Stellar Shards there. Well, fortunately, we have the Moon Palace construction. And this is a really weird game mode, because the rewards are really good. You're getting yourself access to Sublimation, Cores, potentially Scatter Spirit Base Shards, Aurora Gems, and even Spiritual Essence here, and that's if you get a perfect construction. If your construction is less than perfect and it's only successful, then you get some additional rewards coming in here, diluting the pool, which makes it harder to get the top stuff. But here's still good. You're getting Stellar Shards, you're getting Crystals of Transcendence, you get Master's Toolboxes, but you've also got to deal with Hard Wood and Fine Rock. And then you go lower down and the stuff gets worse. There's just other Celestial Island resources in here, Starspawn upgrade stuff, which is not as good as these better rewards which you get for a perfect construction. Now, you might be wondering, what's a perfect construction? What's all this? I'm going to tell you in a second. But the main thing you need to know is to do a single construction, you need to spend 600 gems. And you have to do that 50 times to get to 36 Jade Rabbits. So the good thing is, this is somewhere that you can get Jade Rabbit Lanterns, a whole 36 of them. The bad news is, this is going to cost you 30,000 gems. Now, if you're like me and have hundreds of thousands of gems, that's fine. But if you're a free-to-play player who's low on gems, that's a little difficult. So 36 Rabbit Lanterns is excellent. To top that up and get to 60, you'll need to do 290 Prophet Orbs, because you also get 2 more free lanterns from here. So it's 290 Prophet Orbs, 2 free lanterns from the Luck Relay down at the bottom, and then you also have to do 30,000 gems. That will take you to 60, which will get you a full complete of Location 1, 20 rabbits, and then you can go in and claim the rewards here in Store 1, then move across to Store 3 and pick up whatever you want, probably Sublimation here. So that's really nice. But the construction is awful. 600 gems is the starting price. And this is what it is. It's this little rabbit swinging around, and the physics are really weird. You've got to kind of drop it so that it lands exactly in that square. This is freaking impossible. There's no skip button. You have to do it manually each time. It's extremely difficult to get it to land perfectly. Look, I'm barely getting it there. Right? And to get a perfect construction, it needs to be 90% in. This is like one of those awful arcade games. And the physics just are really, really awkward to deal with. So best of luck to you guys. But man, I'm telling you, this is very, very, very tricky. And I hate it with a passion. I think it's one of the worst side mission games we've ever had. And you're just lucky if you get a good match. Like 86, that's still just a construction. That's not perfect. So yeah, a lot of people are going to be hating on this. And for 30,000 gems, you kind of wished it would be easier to get perfect construction rewards. But nonetheless, the main reason you're doing this is you're going here for the Jade Rabbit Lanterns, and you're using them to go ahead and get 100% happiness on one of these locations. So yeah, if you've got 30,000 gems and you've got around 300 Prophet Orbs, yeah, you can get yourself some top rewards. What if you don't? Now, that's the really, really awkward question here. Because if you want to get yourself even slightly good rewards this week, you need to use 30 lanterns to get to 50% happiness. Now, 30 lanterns to get that, if you're not going to be spending gems, you actually need to get purely from Prophet Orbs, which will require you to do a heck of a lot. We're talking 5 full completes. That's 400 Prophet Orbs you will need. Then, considering that gets you 10 Jade Rabbits, that will then just turn into 2.5 million Stellar Shards. Are 400 Prophet Orbs worth 2.5 million Stellar? I don't think so. I would rather have those Prophet Orbs for a time when you do have gems so that you can unlock Store 3 here and actually get access to Sublimation. If you did have like 1,000 Prophet Orbs, then yeah, sure, do it if you're short on gems. But really, this is one of those events where free-to-play players would best be served using 30,000 gems here. And if this wasn't a strong message to tell you that actually you really need to be careful what you spend your gems on as a free-to-play player, then let that be known now. You don't want to be wasting them in the marketplace buying Heroic Summon Scrolls. You don't want to be wasting them on Sky Labyrinth, Imps Adventure, anything like that. You want to be saving them for good events like this, which means if you don't have 30,000 gems, you're actually best just skipping this event, which is really sad. As I said, though, if you do have like 1,000 Prophet Orbs, you're not going to miss like 400 because you'll still have enough for a future Prophet Orb event. But just generally, as a rule of thumb, I wouldn't want to spend 400 Prophet Orbs just to get 2.5 million Stellar Shards when I know that you could get way better rewards just by investing here and picking yourself up some Sublimation. What's also pretty cool then is that if you wanted to, you could go ahead and spend on value packages, bearing in mind that 60 Rabbit Lanterns is what you need for a full area complete. So if you were a free-to-play player and had a lot of Contract Starry Gems, you could spend 3,750 of them for another 60 Jade Rabbits. Not only is that getting you a lot of profit orbs, it's getting you treasure coupons and further progress in the fantasy factory. Those 60 lanterns mean you get another 20 rabbits. And 20 rabbits as free to play here is actually really good. That could get you 2 lots more of sublimation, which is actually really good value for 3,750 contract story gems. Or you could do 1 lot of sublimation and you could go back to store 1 and you could buy stellar shards again. Another 2.5 million isn't bad. So there's some options available to free to play players. And obviously, if you wanted to, you could even go ahead and do that again and buy more if you had more contract story gems. So just something to think about if you're a free-to-play player with a massive glut of contract story gems, or if you're a mid-spender who just does happen to have a lot of them. This event's actually pretty good, as you can convert those into really, really solid rewards, which is nice. There's generally a lot of opportunities to spend contract story gems these days. And there's one thing I want to stress, right? A lot of the time when I do these event reviews, I tell you the things that you can do for free. And a lot of you are like, oh, how's a free-to-play player supposed to have 30,000 gems? Or how's a free-to-play player supposed to have thousands of contract story gems? The point is, you're not supposed to do all of these events. I'm just telling you what you could do if you had those resources. Sometimes free-to-play players will have those resources, sometimes they don't. So this is more of an encourager, if you don't have those resources, just to save them, just to find ways to get them onto your account. Some people like to buy and sell heroes in the auction house to get lots and lots of contract story gems. Other people just really, really have gotten good at saving gems for events like this. There are ways to go ahead and complete events like this. Yes, you're not going to be able to do all of them, but just doing some of them is pretty good for your progress as free-to-play. Now, if we look for spenders here, you've got the Bright Moon gift. This is where things start getting exciting if you've got some cash to burn. First of all, for every single 32 profit orbs you do, you'll get 3 back. That's just kind of making it easier to complete this event. That's less important. The main thing here is these bonus rewards. For each of these unlocks, which you have to buy to get, you do get some really nice stuff. Let's start by looking at this one. This is going to get you some extra stellar shards for this little crescent moon here. The full moon is actually going to get you access to sublimation or spiritual essence or core of origin items. This is really good. That's basically, was that like a full core that's down here? That's really, really nice. You're getting 20 of these chests and they contain 5 each. So yeah, that's 100. That's a full core. That's really good. Now things get really crazy when you look at these bonus rewards. These bonus rewards are giving you a chest that contains 30,000 scattered spirit vein shards. There's 2 of them on every tier level. There's 20 tiers, so that's 40 tiers. 40 lots of 30,000 scattered spirit veins. That's 1.2 million scattered spirit vein shards. That's crazy. If you have 640 profit orbs and you're a spender, getting these bonus rewards is insane value. That's just a mad amount of scattered spirit veins. So if you go down here, take a look at the relay, to get to that point, it is a little bit expensive. That's the main problem. So to get to the first tier, you need to spend 30 bucks here in the relay. I don't think 30 bucks is worth it for a few extra stellar shards. Probably not worth going up to here. However, if you want to keep spending, this is when the rewards get really nice, because you get this next level if you spend an additional 50 bucks on top of that. So that's 80 bucks at this point. There's the Bright Moon privilege too. That's nice, but really if I'd gone that far, I want to go up and get to this stage here called Energy and get the Bright Moon privilege too. The rewards are insane. You're getting lots of Cores of Transcendence. You're getting tons of these lanterns for going this far. 75 profit ups, which will help you complete the event. And more importantly, you get that Bright Moon privilege 3. The issue is this is $130. That's a lot of money to spend on this game. I know a lot of you can spend that kind of money on this game in the blink of an eye. You'll just go, yeah, I don't care, bang, let's go. But for a lot of people, that's a heck of a lot of money to spend on a mobile game. This is the weird thing about Idle Heroes at the moment. You have events like this where you drop 130 bucks and the rewards are absolutely astronomical and they eclipse anything you could do by just spending a little bit here or there. So generally, my advice would be, if you are looking to get the most out of your spending in Idle Heroes, actually buying on one of these events and just going all in, and then just skipping a lot of other spending opportunities is probably the best way you can approach this, because, you know, you could go ahead and buy your monthly cards for ages and top up that way, but that's not going to get you 1.2 million scattered spirit vein shards. Like, that massive injection of resources is just something that's ridiculous. And if you have the 640 profit orbs to back that up, that becomes really, really appealing. Now, I'm not saying you should spend on every single crazy event. I'm not saying you should do that. No. But if you were looking for a way, rather than spreading your money out across multiple events, if you just went in on this and never spent on the game again for like 6 months, then yeah, you could totally do that and get a massive injection of power. So that's something to think about with these events. There's a lot of these events that do come along where if you just put like $100 or a little bit more on, you can get some really, really crazy stuff. And the fact that it's that much Destiny materials for that price is extremely attractive. The other crazy thing about doing that is it is going to pick you up a lot of these Jade Rabbit Lanterns. You're getting 2 here, then another 6, then 4, so that's 12, 20, 32, 42, that's 55 by the time of just getting to Charm. Then it's 78 for Calm. And then you get to Energy here, and that's going to take you to 106. So it's 106 lanterns in total you're going to get for spending up to the Bright Moon Privilege 3. I don't think these further rewards are worth it. I mean, look how crazy this is. $70 here, 100, 100. Nah. The only thing that's actually making this valuable is the Bright Moon Privilege. Everything else after this point, ignore it. It's not even important. I don't care about it. But yeah. So let's say we get to that. We do 106 rabbit lanterns there. Then, of course, you've just picked yourself up a ton of gems, so you might as well go ahead and do this part of the event. That's another 36, so that's going to take you to 142. Then when you add your Prophet Orbs as well, that's 48, so that's a total of 190 lanterns, which is enough for 60 Jade Rabbits. So if you add all that together, you're getting tons of Stellars from here, you're getting tons of Sublimation or Core Chests from there, you're getting yourself 1.2 million Scattered Spiritmane Shards of bonus rewards here on that third privilege. You're also then getting yourself access to 60 Jade Rabbits by going in on 3 locations in the Lantern Blessing. That'll probably convert here into 4 purchases on Stellar Shards, so that's 5 million Stellars that you'll pick up. Then you'll just go to Store 3 and you'll pick up a ton of Sublimation that way. That will be 60 rabbits used, which will then unlock Store 5 and Store 4. So then you can go ahead and if you want to, you can go to the value packs and you can start spending Contract Starry Gems, and you could do this twice, and that's going to be an additional 120 lanterns. That'll then get you access to 40 more rabbits, which is 4 lots of rewards you can then purchase from Store 5. So you have the choice of either going all in on Destiny, or you can pick yourself up, let's say, a ton of exotic pistols, or exotic shields, or grimoires, probably grimoires, and just get yourself immediately a Dragon Ruby Scepter. That's not bad. Spending $130 to get a ton of Destiny materials and a full Dragon Ruby Scepter with the exotic grimoire here, that seems pretty good. If you've got the Contract Starry Gems to back that up, yeah, I'd do that. I'd never spend on the game again. You could literally be a free-to-play player who spends $130 this week, a ton of Contract Starry Gems there, like that's 7,500. I get that that's a lot. But you could do that and never spend again. You've just given yourself a ton of Destiny materials and a Dragon Ruby Scepter pop-off king. It's so crazy the level of rewards you can pick up just for a quick injection of cash like that. That's mad. That's really, really good. Or you could just go all in on Destiny and just focus on your resources that way if you need it. So yeah, all in all, this week's event is phenomenal for spenders if you're going to spend $130. But the funny thing is, if you don't, I actually don't think there's a reason to spend. I don't think any other entry point of spending makes any sense at all. Considering that degree of progress is available for $130, no other price point even comes close to that. So if you were thinking about spending a little bit, all I'd say is just save that money, put it to the side, don't spend it, and then just wait for another event like this and then spend it on that and combine what you would have spent on that event with what you would spend on this event so you can get to $130. So generally my advice is just save. Save or go to 130, and if you're free to play, spend 30,000 gems, do some Prophet Orbs if you've got 290 of them, and use that to get yourself a couple of Stellar Shards here, and then you can go for Sublimation. So there's something for everybody here. There's definitely access to some top-tier rewards. You've got Sublimation, you've got Stellar Shards, and if you are going to spend, there's a lot of crazy stuff here. And as we said, it's a good event to go ahead and spend your Contract Starry Gems on because you are getting access to these Jade Rabbit Lanterns, you're also getting more progress from the Fantasy Factory, and you're getting Charm Treasure Coupons. So let's finish today by going ahead and taking a look at the Treasure Train items and seeing whether it's worth chasing these. So we need to go to Festival Treasures 2024, and you'll see we got these 3 new items. So we had the Moonlight Pill Maker. This sucks. It gives you speed in Realm's Gate, Void Vortex, and Void Arc. Completely useless game modes that you can easily just beat with a Betty. You don't need bonuses here. Not very good. This is giving you damage reduction again in those 3 game modes. Not very helpful. And then finally, this is crit damage in those 3 game modes. All useless upgrades. I'm sorry, but Void Vortex and Void Arc progress isn't really helpful. And Realm's Gate, I mean, yeah, sure. It's, I guess you can do with a bit more power there, but generally speaking, being good at Realm's Gate is due to the whole power of your team, not just a couple of Treasure Train items that are pretty useless. So yeah, don't waste your time on them. What I would actually do is if you do get treasure coupons, I would go to the Treasure Train, I would go to collect, I'd press this convert button here, and I would turn them into normal treasure coupons. You won't be able to do that this week, but when the event ends, you should be able to convert them into normal treasure train coupons, and then when hero token comes along, you can go ahead and do that when the chances of hero token are increased, which is going to be in about 6 weeks' time. So yeah, definitely an opportunity for you to get some treasure train stuff, but don't blow it on this week. Save it for the future. So that's this week's event. Seems really, really solid. Lots of great rewards available. And yes, you can totally skip this if you don't have Prophet Orbs or Gems. Next week, we've got the Hero Lottery, Summon Prizes, Palace of Eternity, Palace of Crystal, and a Hero Exchange event with Alakita and Natalie. That means we will be getting ourselves a new hero added to the game. So excited to see what they're going to be like. And I'm also curious what DH Games are going to do for this. The whole addition of these glorious treasuries was added within the context of Melissa when she was brought into the game. So it's going to be interesting to see if they continue that theme and make it so that there's actually a lot of great events where we can use our heroic summon scrolls. So curious what DH Games are cooking. Gonna see if next week is going to be a good one. And that will then lead me to come to the conclusion of whether it's worth using your heroic summon scrolls on events like this, or whether it's worth using them on Transcendence events. So if you're curious about my conclusion on that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as I will be reviewing that event next week as well. Until next time, look after yourselves, try and get some good rewards this week, and be sure to check out this week's sponsor, Angel Legion. There's some codes in the description down below, so you can get some rewards for your account. Either way, I'll see you next time, guys. Hope you have a good time. Good luck getting rewards, and as always, have an amazing week, and happy idling.